Donald Trump has been convicted on all 34 counts of falsifying business records in historic criminal trial in New York. It is the first time a former or serving U.S. president has been convicted of a crime. He will be sentenced. This is only going to take place in July on the 11th, and the ex-president could face prison, but legal experts are saying a fine is more likely the outcome. Trump calls the verdict a disgrace and attacks the judge who presided over the case. Trump was convicted of falsifying business records to reimburse his lawyer for $130,000 in order to make that payment to Stormy Daniels on the eve of the 2016 elections, when her claim to have had sex with him could have proved fatal to his campaign. The trial featured lengthy testimony from the adult performer, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford, and she described to court in graphic detail what she says was a sexual encounter with the married Donald Trump, and prosecutors successfully laid out a case alleging that the hush money and the illegal covering up of the payment was part of a broader crime to prevent voters from knowing about Donald Trump's real behavior.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here.
We have Mitch McKinn joining us from New York. Thank you so much for joining us here. We just heard Donald Trump talk to reporters. He said that the result was a disgrace, it was rigged. He's gone on to say that the real verdict could only come out from voters, and that's going to take place on the 5th of November when the presidential elections are announced.
Yeah, that's right. Good evening from New York. It has been an historic day, not just for Donald Trump, but for the entire United States. Never before has a former president been charged with a crime, let alone been convicted of one. Donald Trump today finding himself convicted on 34 felony counts of falsifying business records to cover up that hush money payment you mentioned to the porn star Stormy Daniels over an alleged affair the pair had back in 2006. Now, this was a grueling 6-week and 3-day trial that had everything of a Hollywood drama. It had the president, the payoff, and the porn star. But in the end, Donald Trump has been convicted. As you say, there has been plenty of reaction tonight. Donald Trump himself said this was a rigged trial by a corrupt judge. But Donald Trump is also going to be holding a press conference as early as tomorrow morning, local time here in New York. It's unknown what he's going to say. We can expect probably that he will say similar things, like this is a rigged and corrupt court process. But we know Donald Trump is going to appeal it ahead of sentencing, which is in July this year, so not far away from that sentencing. And as you also said, it's more likely that he's going to get a fine of some sort rather than a prison sentence. But there's been reaction tonight from Republicans here in the United States as well. The Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, said this verdict is a travesty of justice. The former Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy, says Donald Trump's only crime is actually running against Joe Biden. And Joe Biden, the current president himself, said there's only one way to keep Donald Trump out of the Oval Office, and that's at the ballot box. The president didn't go any further than that. He said that they respect the rule of law.
Right. The conviction thrusts the United States into uncharted political territory, but it does not bar Donald Trump from continuing to run for office.
No, that's certainly right. That's a very interesting point here. In theory, Donald Trump could actually be the president of the United States from behind jail. That is going to be difficult seeing happening, though. It would be so difficult to see Donald Trump in prison because he has to take Secret Service officers with him. It would be very expensive to keep him safe as well. So it's unlikely, as I say, for him to go to prison. There are only a few things that you need to have by the Constitution to be the Commander-in-Chief in this country. For example, you have to be over 35 years old. You have had to live in the United States for more than 14 years, and you have had to have been born here as well. There is nothing about criminal convictions. So yes, Donald Trump could be the president, even though he is a convicted criminal tonight.